Hey guys, it's Liz, and today I'm going to share with you my latest project. It's another canvas. This one I started it about 3 weeks ago. I really wanted to get it done by my anniversary, which was last week. April 23rd was my wedding anniversary, and I really wanted to finish it by then and give it to my husband as a gift. Unfortunately, as we all know, life happens and gets in the way of our little scrapping. And I've just been so super busy, and I just didn't get a chance to finish it. So I finally finished it last night, and here it is. So I want to share it with you guys. And I am very, very happy with it. I think it came out really pretty, just how I envisioned it. So I really like it. And like I said, it's another canvas. This time, it's a canvas layout. And I'm actually really surprised. I'm getting better at this canvas thing. I remember I used to be very intimidated by making a canvas, so I had started off small, but I really love them, so I had a lot of fun with this one. And of course it's special because it's of us. So anyways, I'll let you know what I did. I started off with a 12 by 12 canvas. This is the regular canvases you can pick up at Michael's or Joann's and whatnot. And I applied 2 coats of gesso to the entire thing. Not too thick, not too thin. I did want a little bit of texture. And then what I did, let me see, maybe, oh yeah, let me do that. I'm like, yeah. Okay, I started off with strips of music paper. And let me go, oops, sorry, let me go back a little, oh, this is as far as it goes. Okay, so I started off with like strips of music paper after I had applied the 2 coats of gesso. I just tore little strips off. As you can see, there's some up here. And the paper collection that I used is Graphic 45's La Romantique. And I did the same thing. I took little strips of the pattern paper and I added it just in random spots throughout the canvas. So there's going to be, places where you're going to see it a little bit more. But anyway, let me see. Okay, so, I added the music sheet, part of the pattern paper, and then I lightly gessoed the parts of the pattern paper to tone down the color, because it's, that really bright peach. And I also gessoed in random areas on some of the music paper as well. And then after I did that, and I adhered everything with Mod Podge, and I sealed it with Mod Podge as well. And then I went to town using my Lindy sprays. I used a combination of a couple of different colors. I used Cosmopolitan Pink. I used Kissing Kaniki Coral. I also used a few sprays of the T-Bird Turquoise. And this one I let it drip a couple times. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but see, there's like a drip right there. And then there's a couple of drips over here. Just, for a little more color, a little more fun. And I also used, let's see, my dark shade was the Sandra D Sepia. And I added this in just like random burst because I wanted it like a splatter effect. So you're probably going to be able to see it up here in the corner. See? That way I can get like some of these splatters. So I did that in a couple of different areas throughout the layout. And I just love working with my Lindy Stamp Can colors. They're so pretty. And it's obviously very soft. The background is quite soft. Some of the colors are really subtle, and that's what I wanted, because I wanted a contrast between the background and the top layer, which is using some of the black and things like that. I really like that contrast from the softness, and then you get the stark black. So that's really what I was going for. That's why the color, the background is a little soft, but I really like the way it came out. And once I did, the Lindy Stamping, I used my heat tool to make sure that all the colors were set. I didn't want it, turning mucky on me. And then I used some of my masks. Up here, I used the Damask mask by Crafter's Workshop. This one was the 12 by 12, and I used modeling paste to, add all this texture. And I also used a different one. It's the 6 by 6. And it's the timepiece one. It's like little clocks. So I did some masking down here, and then over here is the mask as well. Really like that. And then some areas I added like a very thin coat of the modeling paste, and in other areas a thicker coat. Like, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but see over here how it's thicker? I ran it like the randomness of it. And then of course up here This is the clock mask as well, and the same thing. Some areas it's a little bit thinner, and other areas it's like a little thicker. So I did lots of masking on the layout, and then I went ahead and lightly with an ink pad on the top system of the damask, I inked it up just very lightly. Some places you'll be able to see it. Obviously in person you can see all the little, details a lot better than you can on film. And then the picture is obviously of our wedding day. It's our first dance as a husband and wife. And I titled it Adore because that is actually the name of the song. That's our wedding song. It's the song Adore by Prince. And I just love that song. And my husband loves it as well. And it was funny because when we were, trying to pick out, our music, that was our choice. I mean, we both said it at the same time. Adore by Prince. It was so funny. So it's perfect. It's the perfect song for us. And like I said, I had started working on this a couple of weeks ago. I had already had my title done and everything. And then I just recently found out that Maria Bayless is having a challenge right now where you're supposed to create a project using a song that inspires you, or that I guess gives you goosebumps, as she said it. And this is one of them. So I'm going to enter this project into that challenge. And I'm going to put the link down below to her channel and to her challenge so you guys can take a look. But it's kind of funny that it worked out that way. But that's the song, Adore. And for part of the challenge, you're supposed to include something, either the title or lyrics from the song. I did both. So the title is Adore, and I did lyrics down here. And let me show you what that says. So basically it just says, until the end of time, I'll be there for you. You own my heart and mind. I truly adore you. I love this song. It does give me goosebumps. It gives me chills every time I hear it because it's such a special song, And the other part of the challenge was to incorporate, I guess, something that had to do with the song. And so in this case, I chose time, because it says until the end of time, and that's why I have this clock here. And this clock is just fussy cut from another Graphic 45 collection. This one was a lady's diary, and I just fussy cut it out of one of the papers and tucked it back here. But everything else, all the other papers are by Graphic 45, but it's the Le Romantique collection. And then of course the masking is also a clock, and so that's why I incorporated that as well, because of time. And all the music strips from the song, so music, I think I did a good job. Anyway, so over here, moving on to the layout, I just cut out, different rectangles of patterned paper. I distressed all the edges of them, and I kind of laid them on here, kind of like not even. I just wanted some of the paper to show through. So there's 3 different layers of paper. And here's our picture, and that's me. Some of you guys probably don't know what I look like, but it's kind of dark. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see, but yeah, that's me on our wedding day. And so here in the little corner, this is one of the Prima resin pieces, and of course it's already, that white color. Has a little bit of a gray tint to it, but I just lightly dabbed some black soot on top just to add more detail. And over here is just a little strip from the Le Romantique paper, and I adhered it on top, and I distressed all the edges. And then over here, this is the beautiful heart that was cut using my Heartfelt Creations die cuts. And this is a beautiful heart shape. I love this die. It's beautiful, and I use the pattern paper for that. So there's one here, and then there's another heart down here. And of course, half of it gets covered up with all the papers. But so those are by Heartfelt Creations. They're beautiful dies. And then here I have 2 butterflies, and I used a stamp, a Martha Stewart stamp. I stamped it onto pattern paper using archival ink, and then I fussy cut the butterflies, and I inked the edges of their wings so they could stand out more. And then I glued them on there. So there's one here and one up there. So 2 really pretty butterflies. And now moving on to this cluster down here, and I love this cluster. I kind of wanted to look like a bouquet a little bit, my bouquet for my wedding, but it just, it's a bunch of random things on there. But we're going to start off, this is, the little Tim Holtz, I think they're called book plates, and this one was in that dark almost like a coppery color, and I added gesso to the tops of it to give a little more detail. And the lyrics I printed out on my computer, and I glued them onto a piece of cardstock, and then I added it to the back of my frame. And then I also added, gosh, I can't think of the name, crackle, you know, that crackle paint, but not the, it's the rock candy, I think it's called. So you can see some of the crackling going on there. And here's a beautiful dove. This is the little glittery doves that you can pick up in the wedding section at, you know, your local craft store. And I added that little dove right on there. And then here we have a cluster of flowers. In the back, if you can see these leaves, these were fussy cut from one of the papers, and actually it was the roses as well. Some peach color roses, but they got covered up by all this, you know, going on here. And these two white flowers are by I Am Roses, and I used my Scintillating Silver by Lindy Stampking, this one right here. And I sprayed all the flowers to give them more shimmer. And on the tops of the petals, I lightly inked them with one of my ink pads. I think it's like by G Studio, you know, the dollar ink pads from Michael's. And it's like a peachy color, peachy cream. So I added that on all the petals, inked them up a little bit. And these two flowers were white, and they were from my stash. And I used the Cosmopolitan Pink along with the Kissing Kinky Coral to color them up. And then I gessoed the petals. Very pretty, and I tucked those back in there. This little stamp was fussy cut from the Romantique collection, and I just tucked it back there, added a little bit of gesso in some places. And moving on, here we have little black ones. This little black one's from my stash. This one too, and then that one tucked away over here. And again, I just left those black. They were already black. And I used the Scintillating Silver on them and some gesso to the tops of them. And then these beautiful buds here are new. I just got these from LA, and these are beautiful mint, almost like a little turquoise color, and they're so pretty. So I tucked them, there's two in here, I tucked in, and then I did three over here. And these are not paper, these are fabric. So it's a combination of paper and fabric flowers, so I tucked those back there. Here I have this little heart. It's like it used to be a button, and I just, you know, cut off the shank part and I glued it on there, and I really like that little button. It's so cute. It's ivory, and it, you know, it has some shimmer on it. It's very pretty. And over here, I just have a bauble. Again, I picked these up in LA, that big bag that I had. I just added a bauble over there. Back here, I have a crown. This is a Melissa Francis resin piece, and this one, same thing. It was, you know, white. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think this is also a Melissa Francis resin piece. I said Prima. But yeah, so this is, you know, it was white and a little bit of gray, and like I said, I lightly used my ink pad and just dabbed on top, you know, for to pick up more of the details of the crown. So I thought that was really pretty. And again, the crown is also part of the song because, you know, obviously it's Prince, and then Prince, you know, wore crowns. So there you go. And let's see, what else? Oh, I added some pearls. This is just a pearl from my stash, and then there's a couple of pearls over here, and some more pearls over here on this side. And I just kind of threw them around. Wherever they landed, that's where I was going to glue them. So used my hot glue gun to put those down. And this beautiful black lace in the background is from my stash, and it's so pretty. I love it because it's, you know, nice and big, but it's got, you know, scallops, and then if you look closely, there's like some really neat stitching, so it's really pretty. And I laid that on there, and then I did another lace over that, and this was this white lace. I only had a little bit left. I think it's only like 3 of these little guys, so it only goes to here, but that's enough because, you know, obviously all this area gets covered up, so you only want to see that. And then here I have this beautiful key. This is a key by K & Company. Yeah, K & Company. And it's like a coppery color. And I just used some gesso on the top of it. And tucked it behind all the beautiful flowers. So that is my cluster. And I believe I covered everything. So let me just show you guys again my layout. And I'm so happy with it. I think it came out so beautiful. And I haven't done anything. I haven't scrapped myself in forever, so this is like the first time in a while that, you know, I actually used a picture that had me in it. So, and it's special, of course. Every time I look at this picture, just, you know, it brings joy to my heart. This was such a special day for me, and, you know, such a funny story because I would have never thought that I'd ever be married. It was so funny because, you know, and I love my husband to death, and we laugh about this all the time. But when he proposed to me, I said no. And I said no because I was just terrified of marriage. I've never really met people who, you know, my mom and my stepdad didn't last, and it's like everybody that I know, no one lasts, and it just seems like they're just miserable together and things like that. I'm so afraid of that, but he's such a wonderful, wonderful man, and he brings out the best in me, and after I said no, you know, I just sat there, because he had, we weren't living together at the time, but sometimes he would come over and stay at my house, and I guess he was so upset that he just, you know, went into the room. And I sat in the living room for like 3 hours and just contemplated everything. And I was just like, oh my God, what am I thinking? He's, you know, the perfect man for me. And I went back in the room and I told him that I would be honored to be his wife. And that's why we're here. And yeah, it's just like a, you know, it's kind of, I guess it's a sad story because I can't, you know, tell people how, you know, happy I was when he, you know, proposed, because he just, you know, he brings out this ring and he's like, you know how I tell you I love you so much, and you never believe me, and it's just kind of funny. But anyways, we laugh about it all the time. We laugh about it now, and he always has to remind me, what's your name now? What's your name now? And I just laugh. But anyways, guys, this is my layout. I absolutely love it. I adore it. And this is just a beautiful song by Prince. If you guys haven't heard it, definitely, you know, check it out. It's a beautiful song, and I love it for everything that it stands, everything that it means to me. And so that's it. Just I'm going to show you some more little details here. I hope you guys like my layout. My husband loved it. He was so happy. He even helped me decide some of things. Like, he's like, oh, I think you should put that crown here. So he's so funny. Sometimes he helps me out. But anyways, guys, I'm going to enter this in Maria Bayless Challenge. I'm going to put the link down below so you guys can check out her channel and maybe participate in the giveaway. I think you have until May 16th. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you like my canvas layout. And, oh, you know what? I did want to show you that I did the sides as well before I forget. I'm just rambling on and on. But see, I did, you know, the same thing. Strips of paper, the spritz, and, of course, the modeling paste with the masking. I did it on all the sides. So, anyways, guys, I hope you like my layout. Thank you so, so much for all your support and all your wonderful comments. You guys mean the world to me. And I want to thank you all so much. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.